Donald Trump has done a lot of losing this week. The latest loss was in his war against the algae in the reflecting pool, in what is perhaps the most perfect metaphor for the second Trump term. After focusing on seemingly little else, posting about the reflecting pool at all hours of the day and night, carrying around a bizarre graphic of the size of the reflecting pool compared to the size of buildings, giving out not one but two no-bid contracts to donors and one of his own contractors to repair and clean the reflecting pool. The White House and Donald Trump both claim that they're not involved in the selection of his donor, and spending $14 million and counting taxpayer dollars on defeating the algae and turning the reflecting pool, quote, American flag blue, more than 7 times the original estimate to do that. Donald Trump is worse off than when he started. Does that sound familiar? The algae that appears to haunt his dreams for the reflecting pool remain firmly in place today, and his much beloved American flag blue pool lining is actually coming up in chunks of plastic after National Park Service workers poured hydrogen peroxide into the pool in a desperate, ultimately failed battle against the algae. Despite those undeniable setbacks, to put it mildly, the Trump administration once again refuses to acknowledge the reality of their own reflecting pool, with his Department of the Interior posting this on social media, quote, the advanced nano bubbler technology very effectively killed the algae that has plagued every Lincoln reflecting pool reopening, most infamously Obama's reopening, since 1922. The reflecting pool water is crystal clear, and our National Park Service team is now vacuuming up the dead algae resting on the bottom of some parts of the reflecting pool, just like the destroyed Iranian Navy resting on the bottom of the Persian Gulf. Okay. I want to bring in New York Times investigative reporter David Fahrenthold. John Heilemann still here. I mean, level set us. Is the reflecting pool currently American flag blue, or is it currently have algae in it and chunks of the blue lining floating in it?
When we visited the pool yesterday, as you said, parts of it were very green, and most distressingly, this blue coating, which the Trump administration paid almost $15 million to apply just a few weeks ago, is already coming off the bottom and floating to the top. That's something that was supposed to last for years. That's the more worrisome thing to me. Algae, maybe you can fight, but if they just put the coating on and it's already peeling off, what was that money for?
I mean, what was the money for? The money's for what all the money's for. Like something that's half-assed and cheap and tacky, like everything Trump has ever done. I mean, I guess my question is, who can come in and save the pool? Like, who can come in and fix it? Or are we just stuck with the algae-filled, floating plastic, tacky blue? Like, who thought the blue? I have just a swimming pool, and I know that if I put a plastic liner in it, it would not make it through one winter in the North. Like, who approved these ideas?
Well, this is really interesting to me. That one of the trends we see in this administration is that the things that Donald Trump wants done the most, the things he's most focused on, often end up being the things that are done the least well. I mean, Iran is a big example of that, but this is a small example of that. He wants this thing done. He wants the pool fixed. And instead of going through the normal process of having people bid and finding the best bidder to do the best work for the least money, they just give out the contracts in a rush without competing them to 2 different companies that both turn out to be led by Trump donors. And one of them, a very close friend of Trump's who's lived close to Mar-a-Lago, with no effort to figure out if those guys that they just happen to know are the best. And we're already seeing the results of that, right? The pool is green and the bottom of the pool is now peeling off.
Heilemann, I won't even try to stretch this beyond algae and flaking plastic floating in the reflecting pool. But Donald Trump has made clear that there's nothing more important to him than the reflecting pool.
Well, I just want to say, Nicole, yesterday we talked about this a little bit. I made my trip to the reflecting pool. I took all my malaria pills. I had the mask and about a hazmat suit, the whole thing. I came with some anti-crocodile, gear, the whole thing. So I've been there. I've seen it. Actually, flying out of D.C., looking down, when they put the peroxide in, there was a moment there where the edges of the pool was back to blue before at the perimeter of it, before the peeling before the paint or the plastic started to peel off. So it was a kind of like a blue rectangle around a green larger rectangle in the middle. And it looked a little bit like a Mark Rothko painting. I kind of like that. I thought that'd be kind of a good look for the pool. I'm not sure Donald Trump knows who Mark Rothko is. But here's the thing that I want to say about this. I don't know, Nicole, are you through the Haberman and Swan book yet?
I've got about 100 pages left. So I've read about 280
Have you gotten to the super glue yet? Have you gotten to the super glue story yet?
Yeah.
Have you gotten to the super glue? So there's a story in there where Caroline Leavitt walks into the Oval Office and Trump is personally super gluing little gold ornaments onto the furniture or the walls or something, right? So I just think if there's any justice in the world, the answer to your question, Nicole, is the person who should have to go and glue the blue lining back, make Trump do it. Like, it's really important to him. You know, let's drain the swamp, and then have Trump go in there and glue all the blue stuff back.
Do you know who he's going to make do it, though? He's going to make Vance do it. Like, I think we should have a camera down there. I think JD, I think he's going to put JD Vance 100%. In like an old-fashioned scuba suit, make him go under. I mean, it's unbelievable. JD, unbelievable.
I have some leftover super glue from my gold ornaments. Here, take the super glue down there, JD. Take care of it. Go down there. You might be able to get my endorsement if you do that. Incredible.